We live?
Live and alive.
Live and alive. All you come in. All you come in on a Thursday morning. It's good to have you guys here on a Thursday morning. I'm going to be a little bit brief this morning, and that's because I had a few issues, a few difficulties yesterday. I actually had to go to take somebody to the hospital at very late at night. So I did not get back until 3 a.m. Thank God the person is going to be all right. Um, and I mean, they're still there, but they will be all right. So just send your prayers up for me and my fam and my peeps, just as I do for you guys as well. All right, but the show must go on. We must continue to be great. We must continue to be great. Funny thing is, this person that I went to the hospital with yesterday is an elderly person, um, and I remember him saying to me one time. I remember him saying, this is years ago, probably like I want to say 10 or 15 years ago. I was I was doing a lot of real estate. And I was like tired just all the time. I was working like I'm talking probably between 12 and 14 hours a day at minimum and 6 days a week, right? And then obviously my regular things that I do. I remember going to his house and at that time um he was retired and he was older and he said how are things, Jay? How's everything going? How are things? I said, man, I'm tired. I'm tired, Uncle. That's how things are going, man. I'm tired, but continuing pushing through. And he goes, "You're tired?" And I said, "Yeah, working a lot, burning on both ends. I'm working a lot." He goes, "I wish I could work like you." I said, "Pardon me?" Said, "I wish I was young enough to work like you. You should be happy that you can work to the point that you're just tired of all the work." He said, "You're you're supposed to enjoy these days when you can work hard and you can put in all the work and you're tired to the point that you're so tired because when you get to my age, you know, you're not going to be able to do that anymore." And those words stuck with me. We're going on probably 15 years since he told me that. I don't remember the exact date, but I remember where I lived in the car I was driving. So that's how I remember the 15 years. And that's huge encouragement for me. So this morning, when I was coming back from bringing him to the hospital um, with a couple of my other family members, um, I could have, postponed my meetings. I could have pushed them back. I could have pushed this live back, got to the office late. Um, I could have taken the day off today if I wanted to. I mean, these are my companies. I could have done that stuff if I wanted to. The fact of the matter is, I didn't because his voice was in my head like, yeah, you're tired, but keep pushing because there's going to be a day that you don't get to do this, that you wish you could do the things you used to do. And that goes for everything. That doesn't just go for work. That goes for spending time with your family, your children. They're going to get older and they're going to go and do their own thing. And you're not going to be able to spend time with them. Your parents, the same thing. You're not going to be able to spend time with them the same way that you did when they were younger. You know, your friends, your family also goes for things that you could do, like go to the gym and things that you could do when you know I was when I was born. My grandmother was already old. God rest her soul. To me, she was already old, but she was only 50 when I was born. And yeah, like I said, to me, she was already old. Um, but over the years, I just remember seeing her like she couldn't even turn the pot properly, because her shoulder, or this or that. Even to get up off the couch to go walk to the kitchen to go and cook because she still cooked every day till the day she went into the hospital. So, but even those became difficult things to do. Even those became chores, just regular thing like get off the couch and go to the kitchen to cook. So maybe you wanted to try cooking something, or maybe you're tired of cooking. Well, cook. I know it sounds crazy to like say push through like you're a slave, but there's a fine line between, you know, legit being like sick of this ish and I'm too tired for it. I can't do this anymore. I hate this. And being grateful that I can do it. Being grateful that I can still get up and cook something, get up and go to the grocery and put a meal together without it being like hard to even turn the pot. You know what I'm saying? So I really encourage you guys, everybody here. I really encourage y'all to just keep on keeping on, keep pushing, and you will get there. And you will be happy that you did it when your last days come and you start feeling like, oh damn, I'm doing stuff now, slowing down. You're gonna be like, yeah, but I was driving pretty fast when I had it. I was pushing pedal to the metal when I had it. So I can accept the fact now. I can accept the fact that we sliding a little bit. All right. Let's see what we got in here this wonderful Thursday morning. Shout out Sean G. Sidebar. Podcast with Soul. Hey Sean G, I'm gonna hit you next week. I'm gonna hit you next week. Um, who else we got in here? Maria. Maria, good morning. Good morning, Maria. Authentically Lola, good morning to you. Um, is it Ias? I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm thinking it's Iiyaas. Ias. Have you seen the motion to acquit? Um, I've seen the motion for bail, but I haven't seen the motion to acquit as yet. Hollywood T, good morning to you. Good morning, Hollywood T. Absolutely. Yes, we keep grinding. It don't stop. As Puff says, can't stop, won't stop. Can't stop, won't stop. All right. Let's jump into what I was reading this morning. As usual, I'm gonna give you guys a few highlights of what I was reading this morning. I will be honest. I was a little bit late yesterday. I ran past. You guys know I have my 8 a.m. meeting. Usually, I'm able to sneak in between 8:10, 8:15, be a little bit late. I don't want to make a habit of it, so I'm not gonna go all the way till 8:15 this morning. I'm gonna cut it a little bit short, but I'm gonna make sure it's action packed for y'all. I'll make sure it's action packed for y'all. All right. I found this interesting. There was a study done, and in this study, it revealed that people, humans, right, are actually better at administering medication to their dogs than they are than they are administering medication to themselves. Let me repeat that. Let's say you got a sick dog. On average, people will be right on time with giving that dog the medication, making sure their dog is good. Hey, did you get I don't know, foo Fifi, whatever the dog's name is, their medication? Yeah, I got them. I got it. Okay, perfect. Because it has to be by 10 o'clock and 3 times a day, right? Oh yeah, 100%. Got it. Then when it comes to yourself, you get a little sickness, you get a little, bedridden, or maybe even, God forbid, you have a particular disease and you're supposed to take your medication. It's like, oh, I forgot. It's oh, I missed my dose this morning. Oh, I forgot the tablets at home. Think about that. Like, people care more about their dog in this instance than they care more about themselves. What does that say? What does that say? Let's examine that a little bit. Let's examine what that says a little bit. What I wrote down from this book this morning is we do this because we feel undeserving. You don't know that you're feeling undeserving because you do feel deserving on the outside. But just like we said the other day, sometimes we lie to ourselves and we don't know we're lying to ourselves, right? So it goes back to when we were talking about what's better, talent or hard work, what's more valuable. And everybody is going to say hard work because we know that's what we're supposed to say. But then we have this little thing called reality. And do we act like talent is better than hard work in real life? Yes, we do. Right? Even though a poll comes by and you select hard work most of the time. Most people are going to select hard work. The poll comes by, most people are going to select hard work. But then the real life issue comes by, and most people start selecting talent, right? They value that more than the hard work when the test actually comes by in life, right? And we also had the other one, the other example. A lot of people will be like, no, looks aren't important. It's what's in the inside. Or looks are important, but it's not as important as what's in the inside. Then you study all your relationships and you realize you went for looks 10 times out of 10 and you weren't really concerned about the inside that much, right? So these are the things that end up happening in our lives that actually show us that we're lying. We're not telling the truth to ourselves. Need some sunnies out here. So this is no different than those two examples, because most people are going to be like, of course I don't care about my dog more than I care about me. Of course I feel like I deserve everything. I deserve the world. I'm a deserving person. But then your actions and your attitude, it doesn't say that. Your actions and your attitude doesn't say that you feel like you're a deserving person, because you're not treating yourself well, right? So we do this because we feel undeserving. We literally unconsciously punish ourselves. Again, like I said, this is unconsciously. We unconsciously punish ourselves, right? Um, for all that we know about ourselves that others don't. That's a mic drop right there. We punish ourselves for all that we know about ourselves that other people don't know about us. Think about that. You know why they have that saying, you are your own worst critic? The reason why they have that saying, you are your own worst critic, that saying is because you know more about yourself than anybody else. And you know all the good things that you do that other people don't know about. And you know all the bad things that you do that other people don't know about. Right? You know everything about you. So most of the time, we try to conceal the bad things and reveal the good things. Rightfully so. You don't want to go walk around and saying, I've done this, this, and this, and this to everybody. That's discouraging to people, man. Forget about how it makes you look. How is it that's gonna be discouraging to people? But there's a balance as well, right? Because also you don't want people to think, wow, that person's so perfect and I'm a piece of crap, right? You don't want that either. You don't want people to, you want to know, you want to walk around with everybody knowing that the next person is just as imperfect as they are. None of us are perfect. So there's a balance, right? But at the same time, you don't want to walk around with all of your dirty laundry written all over your forehead, right? All of your deepest sins that nobody knows about written all over your forehead and wear a t-shirt of it. You just don't want to do that. It's not encouraging to other people. So here's the thing. How do we balance this out? Because in our subconscious mind, we're sitting there like, I know what I really did, or I know what I've been doing, or I know that I didn't put the effort I was supposed to put in. I know that I slacked off, or I know that I got lucky and I'm taking credit for it as if I didn't get lucky. But I know I got lucky. I just so happened to be right place, right time, you know? So subconsciously, we feel undeserving. Subconsciously, we feel undeserving. All right. So I put, order is not enough, yet chaos can be too much, which is just what I just said. It's like you can't just have regular order, but you can't also just can't have chaos. So I said it's far better to render beings in your care with to sorry, than to protect them. I'm gonna repeat that one more time because since my the way I write is chicken scratch. It is far better to render beings in your care than to protect them. Right? The beings that are in your care, it's far better to render them than to protect them. Human beings have a great capacity for wrongdoing. The quote here is, if we wish to take care of ourselves, we would have to respect ourselves first. The golden rule, the golden rule, do unto others as you would like for them to do unto you. That's the golden rule. It has nothing to do with being nice, and it is an equation. All right. So let's break down those things that I just wrote. Number one, protecting ourselves and being empathetic to ourselves. Remember, we talked about a couple of days ago, or 3-4 days ago now, probably. Being empathetic to our future self is so important. But what we do is we rather protect others. We rather say, I'm protecting them, because that's the easier way to go. Here's the thing. Then that golden rule, that equation, I want you to treat me the way I would treat you, and I want me to treat you the way you would treat me. Actually, that equation, it has nothing to do with being nice to yourself, because there's no this is just within yourself, right? So, for example, Podcast with Soul, who shouted us out earlier, he's bought me a coffee before, right? So the golden rule will say he's done something good to me. He's treated me with respect, and I treated him with respect in return. So that's what I do in return. But what do I do with myself, within myself, with the golden rule? How do I say, well, I treated myself with respect, so I could treat myself with respect in return? It doesn't make any sense. It has nothing to do with being empathetic to yourself. It's an equation outside of you. Here's how we can reconcile that. And this is what we talked about a few days ago, but it comes full circle now. Here's how we reconcile that. There's two of you. You. I'm looking at you. There's two of you, maybe even three if you wanted to say, but really there's only two. There's the you today, and there's the you tomorrow. Those are the only ones that matter, because the you yesterday is history. All right? So there's only two of you in reality, today and tomorrow. Even if you took your last breath right now, yes, your actions and all that stuff would be history, but your physical body would still be here. Your impact on the people around you would still be here. Your impact on the world would still be here. If you make YouTube videos like this, your YouTube videos will still be here. So you live on. You continue to live. It's called legacy, right? So there's two of you. All right. The person tomorrow is either going to be happy with who you are now, who would have been yesterday, with who you are now, or not. The person would have been happy with who you are now or not. Let's say last night, I didn't go to the hospital. Instead, I was staying up late and watching Netflix. All right. I was binge watching a show. I just couldn't go to sleep. I couldn't turn the TV off. And I stayed up until 3:30 in the morning. Okay. Let's say that happened. This morning, it was really hard for me to get up. I just had only a few hours sleep. So this morning it was very hard for me to get up. It's very rare that I peel myself off the mattress, but I because I usually am disciplined enough to go to bed at this time I'm supposed to go to bed. I was brushing my teeth this morning and I was like, oh, this is crazy. I was so tired. I was like, oh, this is crazy. But I did it for the right reasons. But what if I didn't? What if I did it because I just wanted to binge watch a show and I had a lack of discipline and a lack of integrity for myself? I would be yelling at myself saying, Jay, why did you stay up so late yesterday? You know you had an early morning today. You know it was a Wednesday night last night. You stayed up for nothing. What did you even get out of that? Why would you put me in this position that I feel like ish this morning? Why would you put me in that position? You see, everything you do right now, the you right now, you're doing for the you 10 minutes from now, 1 hour from now, 1 day from now, 1 year from now, 2 years from now, a decade from now. Everything you do today, you're doing for that person. You understand? And if you really do want to bring in that third person, even though to me that person is history, but if you really do, then that means that the golden rule would apply, and your present person right now is the middleman of the golden rule. So yesterday does for today what today should do for tomorrow. Do unto your past, do unto your future what your past should have done to you now. In other words, be empathetic to your future self. And empathy is not sympathy. Sympathy is I feel sorry for you. Empathy is I know what it's like to be in those shoes, or I'm gonna try to fit in those shoes so I can understand how you feel, why you feel like that. It's an attempt to feel or put yourself in that person's position. Feel what they're feeling. That's what empathy is. It's an attempt to put yourself in somebody else's shoes. So put yourself in the shoes of a person 10 years from now with your current daily habits, with your current daily routine, with your current attitude, your current mental health, your current drive, your current motivation, your current projection in life. Is that person 5 years, 10 years from now going to be cussing you out, the person you are today? Or are they going to be praising you, saying, thank God you did that stuff because today I'm loving it. I love it. And because of that, I'm going to use the golden rule within my own self, and I'm going to do well for the person 5 years from then. So it's 2025, 2030 is going to look back at 2025 Jay and going to say, 2025 Jay, you did so well for me. Now look, I'm in a great position. I'm healthy. I'm strong. I'm even way better than I was in 2025. And I'm going to do even better or even more for so that 2035 Jay can reap the benefits that 2025 Jay gave me in 2030. Put a 1 in the chat if you're feeling me. Put a 1 in the chat if you're feeling me. Thank you. Got some 1s in the chat. Thank you. So this, guys, really is how it gets brought full circle. This is how full circle works. All right. I'm gonna read just a little bit more here, and then I'm gonna have to jump off. I'm gonna have to jump off. Now, here are some practical things that we can do. Right here are some practical things that we can do in order to be empathetic to our future self. Right. I wrote down our anxiety systems are very practical. Our anxiety systems are very practical. And guys, just because you experience anxiousness, just to let you know, just because you experience anxiousness doesn't mean you suffer from anxiety. There is a big difference between experiencing anxiousness and suffering from anxiety. My mother suffered from anxiety. She used to have to out of nowhere breathe through a paper bag. I myself have actually quote unquote suffered from anxiety, even though I don't really like to call it that because it sounds weak. But it is something that has happened to many times. It's not, oh, I'm getting nervous or something like that. That's just regular human experience. It's I'm just hanging out, I'm having a good time, or I'm taking a drive, and all of a sudden I have shortness of breath out of nowhere. Nothing happened, nothing went crazy. It's just I have shortness of breath out of nowhere, and I can't breathe. Like you feel like you can't breathe, like you're like, well, should I go to the hospital or should I not go? I don't know if I should do this. Or should I go to the hospital or not? During COVID, we had to set up our office in Mexico City, and so some of our team members were there, and C was one of the people that were there, and he could tell you the honest God truth. Out of nowhere, I couldn't breathe, and I was like, "Yo, I just want to let you know, just in case I drop down, like what's going on." And I called him to the side, and I said, Like I'm having this stupid thing. It comes, it attacks me every so often, and it's just this stupid thing that I can't breathe. I'm pushing through. I'll push through it, but I just want to let you know, just in case something happens and I lose consciousness or I drop down or something like that. You could tell the hospital or the doctors what's going on. Every so often, I he's like, "What the hell? You remember this? See? You remember me saying that?" And you were like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "Don't worry. It usually passes. Remember that?"
Yep.
Yeah. And I was like, "It usually passes. It'll be fine." Guys, that's what when somebody actually suffers from anxiety, that's kind of what happens. At least that's my understanding and my experience. But when you get anxious about something, that is just normal human experience. Everybody gets anxious about things. Anxiousness is literally the same thing that's happening when you're excited. Nervous and excitement, nerves, it's the same thing. If you're nervous to get on stage, you're also excited. It's just that you're not looking at it as excitement. You're looking at it as I'm nervous. I'm gonna teach you guys something real quick about anxiety and depression. Okay. Anxiety is too many options. That's what it comes from. It comes from like an endless amount of options. I'll give you an example. I'll start feeling anxious. Well, back in the day when I used to do music and I used to go perform in front of people, however many people in the crowd, I'm out there about to go and take the mic and perform. And you feel anxious. You feel anxious. I used to do modeling for carnival costumes as well. I remember one of the designers in the and backstage before I was supposed to go and down the runway at the show. For you guys can look up what band launches are. That's where just look up band launch Trinidad or carnivals. I think they have it in all carnivals. But it's basically you model all the costumes so people could decide what costume they want to buy. Says take a shot of liquid courage, he would tell me. All right. Same thing with music. Same thing with going into a listing presentation or a training or something like that. That you're going to feel these feelings because you're thinking anything can happen. They can love you. They can hate you. They can be okay. So maybe the music stops. Maybe your costume rips. Maybe somebody throws something. There's so many different things that can happen. Maybe there's great people in the crowd. Maybe there's nobody in the crowd. Like there's so many different options that you start feeling anxious. Anxiety comes from, or anxiousness, I should say, comes from multiple options, multiple choices. Anything can happen, and I don't know which one is going to be. So I start feeling anxious. Depression is the opposite. Depression is the opposite. Depression comes from lack of options. Depression comes from lack of options. People get depressed when they go through a breakup, for example. Why? Because there's no option, especially if the person broke up with you and says, I don't want to be with you. There's no option there. You can't control it. There's no option to reconcile this relationship, right? That's why the ultimate depression usually happens when somebody passes away because you can't bring them back to life. There is no options. It's lack of options. So you feel hopeless. You feel hopeless. And depression is born out of hopelessness. So anxiousness is too many options, while depression is not enough options. Either way, it's not a state in which you can be great in. I repeat that. Either way, it's not a state in which you could be great in. Because in order to be great and do great things, you have to feel great. You can't be feeling like crap all the time and expect yourself to make great decisions and to do great things for your tomorrow self. So you got to check your health, physical health, mental health, spiritual health, right? Make sure those things are good so that you are good enough, you're feeling good enough to do great things. All right? So I wrote, and I'm going to repeat that one more time. The last thing I read, I wrote, our anxiety systems are very practical. They assume that anything you run away from is dangerous. It's important because due to anxiousness, we make rash decisions. Due to anxiousness, we make rash decisions, and we oftentimes avoid doing things because of our nervousness, our anxiousness. We don't look at it as excitement. I'm excited to do this, even though it's the same exact feeling. It's just what's going on in your mind, but it's the same exact physical thing that's happening in your body. Same physical thing happening in your body. Shortness of breath, um, racing of the heart, um, your body temperature goes up. Like all these are the same thing. When I unlocked this, I unlocked this ish when I was like 12 and I was going on the roller coasters. And sometimes I would love the roller coasters and sometimes I would be nervous as hell on them. And I and I was like, how come sometimes when I go to the amusement park, I I'm good with this particular ride. And then the other time when I go to the amusement park, I'm like, I don't want to go on the ride. But I loved it last time. Well, it was just because of what my mindset was saying. So I just started telling myself every time I went on the roller coaster, you love this. You're excited. You're not nervous. You're just excited about this. You're excited. You're excited. You're excited. And all that screaming wasn't because I was scared anymore. The screaming was because I was excited. I just flipped that little small little flip switch in my mind, and it changed everything. But that like I put here, your anxiety system is very practical. It doesn't know. It just assumes that it's danger. It just automatically goes to fear. It doesn't go to excitement. You have to create that excitement within yourself. That's perfect example when people watch thriller movies or those kind of horror films, and they're anxious as hell because they don't know what's about to happen in the movie. Their eyes are glued to the screen, and are you excited for what you're about to see, or are you nervous? Are you nervous because it might scare you, right? You flip it. You flip it to, oh shoot, what's about to happen now? You won't be scared. Try it the next time you watch a horror movie. Try it. You won't be covering your eyes. Not that you guys probably nobody here covers their eyes anymore, but you know what I'm saying. So because of that small switch, small flip, it allows me and it will allow you to actually do the thing that is going to make the future you thank you for. Could be YouTube, could be a YouTube video. Maybe you wanted to start your own YouTube channel. Go and do it. Do not feel nervousness, feel excitement. Anxiousness is as a life experience. We're supposed to feel anxiousness. That's part of life. So if there's anything right now that you feel, you know what, I've been avoiding this because my anxiety system in my body doesn't realize this is really good for me to do. It's really good for me to do this. It doesn't realize it. So it's deterring me from doing it, thinking it's danger, but it's not dangerous. It's good for me. And remember what we said yesterday. Any consequence that comes from, or I think it was any pain or consequence that comes from doing something that is good for you is something that we should embrace. Like we used the example yesterday, going to the gym. The consequence, your body's sore, aches and pains. But we should embrace those aches and pains because it came from doing something that is good for us. All right, guys. 8:15. I said I wasn't going to be 15 minutes late for this meeting, but I am again. I appreciate everybody being on. Again, we're going to leave this up for the rest of the day, and then we're going to take it down at the end of the day because we want to reward the people who were in here and who participated and who's been supporting each other, because you're not just supporting us and this channel when you jump in the mornings, you're supporting each other. All right, go and be great, guys. Greatness is a choice. Power is a choice. So go and be powerful. Those choices come each and every day, each and every second of every day, I should say. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for joining. If you joined late, go watch it from the beginning. And we will not be on tomorrow. We will not be on tomorrow. I have a late event today, and I obviously had that thing last night. So we will be on live again on Monday. We'll be on live again on Monday, but don't worry. We will not leave you hanging. We will have videos coming for you, but our morning lives won't be until Monday. All right, y'all. Appreciate everybody. Go and have a great rest of your day, great weekend, and I'll see y'all on Monday morning. Peace.